today's current affairs. As you all know, yesterday and today, Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit was held. SCO Summit, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, yesterday and today. Chinese President Xi Jinping got an award from Kyrgyzstan. Chinese President Xi Jinping got an award from Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan's highest honor, Manas Order of the First Degree. Manas, M-A-N-A-S, Manas Order of the First Degree. Xi Jinping was in Kyrgyzstan to attend 19th SCO Summit. And in this summit, on the auspicious of this summit, he was in Kyrgyzstan. And Kyrgyzstan have given him highest order. This is the first thing which you have to remember. The next important news is India will have its own space station. India by 2030 will have its own space station. ISRO chief said the statement. And space, if any astronaut stay there for 15-20 days, India can do better research. India will have its own space station. The modalities of how and what is the equipment, all these things will be defined only after Gaganyaan. As you all know, we are sending manned mission to the space, Gaganyaan, by 2022. After that, India will formulate the modalities for creating a space station, establishing a international space station. So very important news. So our space research and our space technology already received a lot of laurels, and we have proved our worth. You all know that we have Mars orbiter mission, and we are also now strong in ASAT, anti-satellite missile technology, and we also testified pad abort system, and now we are vying on Gaganyaan by 2022. We are vying on Gaganyaan by 2022. It's really good for India. So India is proving its space prowess. Next important news. Thousands of tribals have been protesting in Bailadilla and Kirandal. Thousands of tribals in Chhattisgarh area. In the state of Chhattisgarh, thousands of tribals have been protesting at Bailadilla, B-A-I-L-A-D-I-L-A, and Kirandal, K-I-R-A-N-D-U-L, Kirandal, against proposed mining in the area, in the particular hill area by NMDC. Why tribals are protesting there? The reason is that tribals consider that particular hill where deposit 13 is based, deposit 13 is based, is a home of Pithor Mita or Pithor Rani, P-I-T-H-O-R-R-A-N-I. It's a sacred place. Pithor Rani is a goddess, wife of deity Nandraj. Their god is Nandraj. Pithor Rani stays in the hill. According to their myth, according to their story, Pithor Rani, P-I-T-H-O-R-R-A-N-I, Pithor Rani, the goddess, stays in the hill. So they consider the particular hill as a sacred hill. And the tribals, they actually are very touchy about their sacred places. There is one concept in tribal culture called sacred grove, S-A-C-R-E-D-G-R-O-V-E. There is a concept called sacred grove. Sacred grove means it's a very shrubby area or forest jungle area where they consider that spirits or goddesses exist. So sacred groves are very important for them, and sacred groves are also important for environmental conservation. Sacred groves are also important for environmental conservation. Kindly read about sacred groves. And few years back, Similar issue happened with respect to Orissa Niyamgiri Hills, where Dongriya Kones, a tribal community, fought against mining rights, fought against mining rights given to Vedanta Mining Company, bauxite mining rights given to Vedanta Mining Company. So these are the serious issues which you have to focus, because tribal rights and forest rights and other rights are very, very important for exam. Wherever you find such news, you have to follow. Coming back again, if you take today's newspaper, Hindu, if you take first page of Hindu, Modi, Xi Jinping met at Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan capital Bishkek, where Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting is going on. They both agreed to speed up boundary talks. You all know, India and China shares a very long boundary, and already we have boundary issues, and we have a dialogue mechanism to solve boundary issue, but still they both agreed to speed up boundary talks. And 48,000 kilometers, it's not 48, 38,000 kilometers, 38,000 kilometers Arunachal Pradesh, 38,000 kilometers Aksai Chin, 38,000 square kilometers Aksai Chin is occupied by China, and they are claiming almost 90,000 kilometers of Arunachal Pradesh, China. So these issues had to be settled down. Coming back again, if you see today's newspaper, editorial page, today's newspaper editorial page, faint glimmer, F-A-I-N-T, faint glimmer. So last April month's industrial activity got increased. Electricity, mining, manufacturing sector showed some increase. Electricity, mining, manufacturing sector showed some increase. Infrastructure, construction, particularly capital goods industry, is not expanding very well. So it's better to focus on manufacturing sector to have a strong base on Indian economy. Though we have seen small revival of industrial sector, it is not enough. It is not enough. Next important article, lead article, democracy can die in daylight too. Democracy can die in daylight too. Even in the daylight, democracy can die. I can tell you few words. The author wrote a very good article, but he is criticizing media, saying that media completely towed the line of Narendra Modi, and media have praised him to such an extent that it multiplied the votes for Narendra Modi. And media, instead of being unbiased, media should be an unbiased truth teller, but unfortunately media have followed the ideology, and the incumbent party tried to support the incumbent party. This was the allegation by the author. Only the world people should know what is right in that. But there are few important words which, as civil aspirants, you should understand in this article. One is about elephant in the room. Everyone knows that this is a big problem, but nobody likes to speak about that. Everybody knows that there is an issue, there is a problem, unpleasant issue, but nobody wanted to speak about that. This is called elephant in the room. This is called elephant in the room. And one more word the author used is post-truth world. Post-truth world means it's a world where more than truth, people love to listen various narratives. Some of the people already knows that it's not completely true, but still they love to listen it, they love to follow it, they like to read it. We are living in a post-truth world. We are living in a post-truth world. So these type of words are very important for your essay writing. Elephant in the room, we are living in a post-truth world. So these things, this essay is very, very important. And the other is completely critical about how Narendra Modi have become the Prime Minister. Democracy can die in the daylight. Only time has to give a reply to him, whether he is right or wrong. we are not here to judge him whether he is right or wrong. The next important article is all about city on edge. City on edge. This article is about Hong Kong. This article is about Hong Kong. China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Macau regularly are in news. Hong Kong till 1997 is controlled by UK, Britain, and Britain have left Hong Kong in the year 1997. For the next 50 years, Hong Kong is allowed to follow its basic law. China should not try to influence Hong Kong, particularly in the laws and other ideologies. But now, Hong Kong wanted to send back the criminals to mainland China. So, if A have committed a crime, say in China, if he ran away to Hong Kong, what's the position? Or if A have committed a crime in Taiwan, if he has come back to Hong Kong, what will be the position? So now the thing is, the Hong Kong made a law, approved a law stating that if a person commits a crime and comes to Hong Kong, they can extradite the person to mainland China. So this is leading for a lot of protests in Hong Kong from last 4-5 days. The reason is most of the people there are thinking that China is trying to impose its laws on Hong Kong citizens, and more importantly up to 2047, because 1997 up to 2047, for the 50 years Hong Kong can follow basic law, not Chinese communist law. So this is the issue. Protests are going on because they have a fear that China might impose its ideology and might take away their democratic values. That is the issue that is going on in Hong Kong. Coming back again, there is an article about hijab or burqa, and in Sri Lanka burqa is banned. Before that in France burqa is banned. How many liberals will accept it? That was the question. Think it over. Banning of burqas or religious symbols. And the most important article today, do exams throttle India's education system? Throttle means obstruct, THROTTLE, or throttle means hinder. Do exams throttle India's education system? It's a very important question which you have to debate, including interview question. This type of questions might come in the interview. What for examination? Examination is for assessment. Examination is for assessing the performance. But I think you all have faced examination system in India. 10th class, intermediate or BTech or degree examinations. Just before the exam, we will be nervous, very nervous, and will be very fearful. And I do remember my examination days where I have studied 10th class intermediate. My father used to stare behind the windows, and when he feels that I might fail, he used to give answers to me like bit papers. Okay, and he used to collect the question paper from the student who have come out of the exam. And when I wrote 10th class exam, I don't know whether they are there or not now, there used to be bit questions, and he used to answer the bit questions and throw the question paper to me, because he knows that I will be very anxious. I don't have formal school education and I cannot actually read well, so he used to give me tips how to pass the exam, and it is not examination for me, in fact it is examination for him. And second thing, do examinations judge the candidate? I do remember a day in my 7th class, I used to sporadically once in a while go to school, and my headmistress used to tell about me. If I want to say one single reason for the downfall of Adarsh Vidyalaya, at that time my school is in Tirupati, its name is Adarsh Vidyalaya, that is because of you. And I got 25 marks in social studies in 7th class. And my principal told me, this girl never can never study maths, physics or social. She stamped me out. Seriously, 7th class, 10th class, intermediate marks, judging the student based on marks, conducting the same examination for all the children with different backgrounds is fatal to the child's future. You have to assess the child based on the performance of continuous assessment and their activities rather than conducting a 3-hour examination, board examinations and judging the child, because examination is a pattern where the entirety of what you have learned for throughout a year, you will be assessed based on the 3 hours performance. In what way it is right? This is the first question about our examination system. Second thing, how can you judge? Because your intermediate course will be decided, your seat will be decided based on your 10th class marks. In the same way, your degree course will be decided based on your intermediate marks. If you get very good intermediate marks, then you will get a seat in a very good college. How can you tell that? If you take the average marks of great scientists or great engineers or great doctors or great civil servants, when they are kids, most of them are not very good at their schooling ranks or grades, including the great scientist Einstein. So, never judge a child based on his 7th class marks, 10th class marks or intermediate marks. Okay, and knowledge is different, wisdom is different, marks are different. Knowledge is different, wisdom is different and marks are different. And more importantly, if you compare in Finland, UK, US, the examination process and learning process is completely different. And students will not be taught, they will be asked to think and do. They will be asked to, teacher will be a guiding factor and the students have to learn. And we have a rote learning system, mugging up system, and instead of critical thinking, we have to by heart and answer, including our civil service exam. Even our civil service exam makes you to remember a lot of things, including our civil service examination pattern. In every stage of examination, what we promote is rotten learning. Unfortunately, we are also doing the same. And we need to have a serious reforms in the entire structure, curriculum and choice of subjects. And we cannot decide a child based on his physics or biology or mathematics score. Seriously. I am a failed candidate in doing circumcircles, incircles. Okay, just because you don't know circumcircle or incircle, that does not mean that you are the forgotten child, you should be a excluded child in the schooling. That should not be the fate of a child in India. That is very, very important. So don't promote rotten learning. Tomorrow if you become a civil servant and when you actually take care of education, promote critical thinking in the minds of the children rather than promoting rotten education, and make the child to enjoy the education rather than by hearting the subject. Okay. So done.